found the construction method the Romans used and built it with modern materials. The complete ultra-high performance guide, 4 episodes into one. Part 1, why ancient engineering beats modern construction, and how ultra-high performance monolithic construction is bringing it back. This shouldn't work. This eggshell is 2 millimeters thick. Tap it from the side and it shatters. But when the load is centered, straight down, the curve spreads the force around the entire shell. The shape carries the weight, not thickness, geometry. Now look at this. Your house is probably built exactly opposite to this principle, and that's why it's designed to fail. The problem: most buildings are designed to meet the minimum building code, not to last, to pass inspection. They're assembled from thousands of different pieces, different materials, different systems, thousands of connections that will eventually fail. Shingles wear out, siding warps, wood rots, energy leaks out, maintenance costs climb. Buildings meant to last decades struggle to make it 20 years. This isn't because people are careless. It's because the construction system itself is fragile. The proof it doesn't have to be this way. The Pantheon, Rome, built in 126 AD, still standing, still in use, nearly 2,000 years later. Its concrete dome is 142 feet across, wider than most modern buildings. No internal supports, no steel reinforcement, just concrete and geometry. Compare that to the average American house, built in the 1980s, needing major repairs by the 2020s. The Pantheon has survived earthquakes, floods, centuries of weather, wars, the fall of an empire, and it's still there. This isn't a fluke. Hagia Sophia, 537 AD. The Cathedral of Florence, 1436. St. Peter's Basilica, 1626. Every major cathedral, every lasting monument, they all knew something we forgot. So what did they know? Why do curves outlast everything else? And how do we bring this back? That's what we're covering next. Part 2. The Roman engineering secret. Why curved geometry and high-performance construction materials outlast everything else. The materials. When engineers build something that cannot fail, they make very specific choices. 2 materials dominate high-performance construction. Concrete handles crushing forces. Steel handles stretching forces. Each material works best where the other is weak. Concrete can easily handle crushing forces, but not stretching forces. Steel is very strong when stretched, but buckles and bends under compression forces. Together they create a better construction material, reinforced concrete. That's why they're used in every critical structure we build. Dams, bridges, tunnels, foundations, because everything else is far less sturdy. But materials are only half the equation. Take a sheet of paper, lay it flat and it can barely support its own weight. Same paper, same material. Curve it into an arch, now it can hold books. The material didn't change, the geometry did. How curves work. Remember this egg. When the load pushes straight down, the force doesn't concentrate in one spot. It spreads around the curve. A dome works the same way. Instead of flat walls and flat roofs that bend and pull at their connections, a curved shell spreads the load evenly. No corners concentrating stress, no seams trying to separate. The forces flow through the curve and down into the foundation. Here's why that matters. A flat concrete roof has to resist bending. That requires thickness, heavy reinforcement, more steel. A curved roof turns that same load into compression, which concrete handles naturally. Same strength, less material, lower cost. This isn't theory. The Hoover Dam uses a curve to hold back billions of gallons of water. The water pressure spreads around the arch instead of pushing against a flat wall. The Pantheon's dome is 142 feet wide, no columns holding it up. The curve does the work. Every major cathedral, Every bridge that's lasted centuries, every monument still standing, they all use the same principle. Curved geometry turns forces into the structure's strength. So we know it works. We know why it works. The question is, how do we bring this back? How do you build a 2,000-year structure using modern materials and modern methods? I'm going to show you exactly how it's done. Part 3. The modern method. How ultra-high-performance monolithic construction is bringing curved buildings back. How we build it today. How to build a structure that lasts 2,000 years. Modern method. We've seen the proof. The Pantheon. 2,000 years. We understand the engineering. Reinforced concrete plus curved geometry. Now here's the challenge. Most people don't want to live in a full dome. It looks unfamiliar, sometimes strange. So how do we get the engineering benefits of a dome while keeping the building visually appealing? The Orion design. This is the Orion system. Straight walls at eye level. So when you approach the building, it feels normal. The corners transition into curves. This eliminates stress concentration at one of the weakest points in standard construction. And above, a domed roof, where curved geometry performs best. Inside, door openings stay square. Room layouts work like any conventional building. You get familiar design at ground level and engineered performance above. Why the domed roof matters. When snow lands on a flat roof, the roof has to resist bending. When snow lands on a typical wood frame peaked roof, the rafters and trusses still have to resist bending. That requires complex structural members, a vast array of trusses, rafters, joints, and fasteners. When snow lands on a dome, it becomes compression, which the thin curved shell of steel-reinforced concrete handles naturally. Wind catches roof edges and ridge lines. Flat roofs get lifted, peaked roofs experience uplift along the eaves and ridge. Domes get pushed down. The forces that destroy conventional buildings make this one stronger. How it's built. The lower wall structure uses reusable plywood forms. These define the stem walls: straight, square to the floor, repeatable. This replaces thousands of individual framing decisions with one controlled form. Special ingredients mixed into concrete add to its final strength. Is sprayed on the walls to create an exterior siding. Then an air form is installed on the top edge of the walls. It inflates to create the roof shape. Polyurethane foam insulation is sprayed on the interior surface of the walls and the airform roof fabric. Steel reinforcing rebar is tied as a grid about an inch from the walls and ceiling, connecting to the floor rebar. Then concrete is sprayed to form the continuous high-performance structural shell. Floors, walls, corners, and roof, all one monolithic system, not assembled from separate pieces. One continuous structural shell. Insulation isn't added later. Air sealing isn't a separate step. They're integrated into the structure itself. What this eliminates: traditional buildings fail at exposed layers and hidden gaps. No shingles to replace every 15 years. No siding to warp, crack, or rot. No wooden framing to deteriorate or burn. No wall cavities where moisture gets trapped. No hidden voids where pests and mold can hide. The weak points are removed by design. What you're left with is the most maintenance-free structure available. So that's how it's built. But here's what makes this really interesting. This same process works at any scale, from a single-room shelter to a full home to a multi-story apartment building. Next episode, I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Part 4. How ultra-high-performance construction works well, building at every scale, from single-room modular building to huge apartment complex. Same principles, same materials, different applications. Single-room shelter. This is a single-room unit, about 80 square feet. It could be a secure, dignified shelter for someone experiencing homelessness. A home office, a home gym, a home studio, emergency housing, hunting shack buried shelter, climate-controlled storage unit. No shingles, No siding, no wood framing. Extremely energy efficient, virtually maintenance-free, safe, dignified, and durable. See our video on modern modular monolithic units. Same system, larger scale. This is a 3-bedroom cabin. Kitchen, living area, bathroom, bedrooms. Everything you'd expect in a conventional building, but with none of the ongoing maintenance. Perfect for remote locations, places where maintenance access is difficult or where extreme weather is common. The building doesn't fight the elements, it ignores them. Full home, full-size home. Multiple bedrooms, open floor plan, modern finishes. It doesn't feel like you're living in something experimental. It feels like home. But underneath, it's built like the Pantheon, not like a house from the 1980s that needs major repairs in 40 years. And it scales up to a multi-story apartment building. At this scale, much of the costs of the outer shell construction are divided by many more finished square feet of living space, making this one of the least costly methods to build a large housing complex. Why this matters. This isn't about chasing a trend or making something that looks different for the sake of being different. This is about building the way engineers do when failure is not an option. The right materials, the right geometry, structures that actually last. The Romans proved it works. Now we're bringing it back. If you want to see one of these in person, we offer tours. If you're considering building one, we can walk you through the process, from site evaluation to final construction. Or if you just have questions, leave them in the comments. I read every single one. This is how you build things that last. Thanks for watching the series.